everybody! Welcome to Half the Battle. Well, it's been a really long time, but we're finally getting some more Deke. We're taking a look at the cartoon episode, United We Stand. Or, if you want to know my title for this episode, Everybody is a Dumbass! We start off in the jungle of, Central Who the Hell Knows Ya, where Pathfinder is cutting his way through using a tool that I think you can buy on one of those late-night infomercials. Man, budget cuts must have really hit G.I.Joe hard. He's leading a strike team to find the Cobra lab, when he is ambushed by, Ambush, who jumps down and tackles him. This will be Ambush's preferred method of communication for the episode. In this case, he was just trying to say Pathfinder should be more stealthy and careful. Pathfinder promptly ignores this and cuts a tripwire that sets off a trap, leading to our second tackle in as many minutes. Just then, Metalhead and Gnagahide were lying in wait for them, it seems. I really hate this guy. Because trying to pronounce this guy's name, well, that's like chewing through a $1 steak. That's very, very well done. Anyway, we get the joy of experiencing Metalhead's charming personality.
Range 200! Target locked! I got it! Oh, see it burn! Kaboom!
I swear, he's the most annoying and stupid character of any cartoon series. With the possible exception of Snarf.
I want suppressing fire into that jungle, now!
Okay, but aren't our guys in there? What about Ambush and Pathfinder? What about them? So the bad guys flee, and Ambush stops Pathfinder from attacking them so that they can lead them to the hidden base. And that's the third dumb thing that Pathfinder has done now by rushing in. He's like worse than Scrappy freaking Doo at this point. They find the hidden entrance, and now both act like dumbasses by rushing in without any backup whatsoever.
Where do you get these guys?
Sorry, still had some Mortal Kombat left over from the last episode. Inside, it's time for Ambush to be the dumb one by running off the plant explosives on the power generator, not hearing Pathfinder explain he's gonna bomb the weapons room. If you haven't guessed yet, the theme of the episode is these a-holes don't know how to work together. Pathfinder runs across Cobra Commander's lab, filled with, about a dozen armed bad guys, so of course he loudly announces his arrival. It, goes about as well as you'd expect. Running. He finds the weapons room and plants the explosives, then runs into Ambush, who greets him in his usual manner. They discover that they've set their explosives right in the way of each other's escape routes, so they're boned. And dumb. Don't forget dumb. As an aside, this 4-minute countdown here takes about 30 seconds in screen time, with no obvious cuts to account for elapsed time. Hell, it goes from 53 seconds to 8 in about 3 seconds flat. That's some fine editing there. So the base explodes. Well, we see 2 rooms explode, and then it cuts to an exterior shot of the base having already been exploded. I guess showing a huge underground base explode from an outside perspective wasn't in the animation budget. All we see is a huge crater. No, of course they're alive. So is Cobra Commander, in fact, because nobody ever dies. Although, we never did see all those alley vipers climb out of the rubble, so I'm just gonna assume they're dead. Anyway, the cartoon has been going on for about 5 minutes now, and we finally get to the actual plot. It turns out Cobra has invented a gas that puts people under mind control, and the commander doses Salvo with it before making his escape. But not before Metalhead gets to be an idiot again.
Range? 5 feet?
No, you mental midget!
Seriously? He was seriously gonna fire a missile at a target 5 feet in front of him? This guy makes those idiots from Dumb and Dumber look like Mensa members. So, Pathfinder, Ambush, and Salvo all end up in the hospital, since explosions only have consequences when it's plot convenient. They're licking their wounds when Cobra Commander announces his evil plan.
Cobra Commander on TV?
Oh, don't sound so surprised. Yeah, I know you prefer to communicate through tackling, but Cobra Commander uses a TV. Everybody knows that. He wants $50 billion or he'll launch missiles with the mind control gas, turning everybody into slaves. He demonstrates the effects by having Salvo awaken and join Cobra.
Salvo, I order you to come to me, Cobra Commander.
I must obey.
Cobra Commander, you have to understand. It takes time to collect $50 billion. As well as time to come up with an alternate plan.
Dude, what the hell? You said that out loud right in front of the commander. And the very next scene is this.
You're kidding. Cobra has ordered all Joe forces kept inside the barracks until Cobra gets the money?
Yeah, apparently, off-screen he's ordered to Joe's on lockdown. Probably due to what Bullhorn said. Nice going there, Master Negotiator. Ah! Why is everybody in this cartoon dumber than a bag of rocks? Anyway, this means Pathfinder and Ambush are the only Joes not under house arrest. Great. The future of the world depends on Tweedledum and Tweedledummer. All they have to do is get out of the hospital. They do this by posing as nurses. Because cross-dressing is just a height of hilarity for Deke. Also,
Haven't we met someplace? Nurse Ratchet?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest reference. Really? Come to think of it, the way Salvo escaped might have been an homage to that movie too. For those of you who don't know, Nurse Ratchet was a character in that movie, and she's been referenced a lot in other media. Hell, the name of the Transformers medic was taken from her. She was played by Louise Fletcher, who's made somewhat of a career portraying characters that were evil bitches, like in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, where she played Kai Wynn. Yeah, I know, I should be talking about the G.I.Joe series and not Transformers or Star Trek, but it's just such a relief to be able to speak about good TV for once. Oh well, back to the episode. But not before I point out that Nurse Ratchet is apparently a member of the West Side Hose. Unfortunate bit of abbreviation there, cartoon. And the thing is, with Deke, I can't tell if they were being deliberately rude or if they were just being incompetent. So they managed to get out of the hospital and get themselves a helicopter. One that changes color from one scene to the next. When we first see it, it has the correct coloring, but when flying, it looks like the Battle Wagon color scheme. Anyway, on with the stupidity.
No way! Those student mechanics did a great job restoring this baby!
Why, yes, if you look closely, Pathfinder did just pound his fist into the jagged edge of the cockpit full of broken glass. Dear Lord, how does Cobra keep losing to these guys?
Right. Who needed that bulkhead anyway?
As a complete aside, the audio is in places atrocious, with the music and sound effects making the dialogue undecipherable. Anyway, they make it to another Cobra base, crashing their helicopter in the process, because at this point I wouldn't expect anything better from them. They make their way inside, by blowing up the door, since subtlety is for losers. Yes, the camouflage expert, who would be awesome at sneaking, just blows up a door. Meanwhile, we find out Cobra has been bluffing. While they do have a bit of the gas left, they only have one missile and it doesn't even work. They have been using mirrors to make it look like they have an arsenal. Our heroic duo, and I'm using that term in the loosest possible sense, overhear all of this and alert the rest of the Joes, who promptly deploy all the weapons they have to go after Cobra.
And here I have to begrudgingly give the D cartoon some credit.
They make the helicopters carry all the land vehicles so they all arrive at the same time. It looks kinda silly, but it does make sense. In the Sunbow series, air and land vehicles just set off from the base at the same time and arrive at whatever battle they're fighting together. Which is stupid when you think about it. A fighter jet and a tank taking the same time to get someplace? So, kudos to Deke here.
Ugh, just saying that left a bad taste in my mouth.
As the Joes attack, Pathfinder finds out Ambush has gone off on his own again. Oh, god damn it. He finds him just as he's about to get killed by the still mind-controlled Salvo. Luckily, Pathfinder saves the day. With the Joes entering the base, Cobra Commander takes the desperate measure of blowing up his only rocket, releasing the gas to enslave the Joes. The bad guys have gas masks that even fit over all their helmets, because at this point why the hell not, which our two quote-unquote heroes find. All the other Joes are taken over by the gas. Well, I say all the other Joes, it's really just 4 people. Yeah, even though we see a lot of troops and vehicles, only 4 characters enter the base.
Saves on the animation budget, don't you know?
Just as Ambush and Pathfinder confront the commander, the other Joes burst in. As well as Metalhead and Poacher Dude. Also, has nobody heard about using doors? It's like a Kool-Aid Man convention in there. In the confusion, the commander drops the doohickey that lets him command the Joes, breaking it. Since the last command they got was to shoot Ambush and Pathfinder, it gives them an idea. In a rare display of competence, not to mention ruthlessness, they decide to use the commander as a human shield until he agrees to release the antidote, which he does. It's a surprisingly well thought out idea, especially for this show. So the Joes are free of mind control and the commander is trapped. Right up until yet another hole gets blown into a wall. Seriously, at this point the whole building should collapse. It gives the head snake an escape route. And he only manages to escape because Ambush and Pathfinder fight over who gets to stop him. Even though like 10 seconds earlier, they said this.
Cooperation just paid off.
So they learned absolutely nothing.
God damn, this episode hurts.
And so the episode ends with them at each other's throats until Gridiron half-heartedly says they did a good job. Also, there's another cross-dresser joke.
But do me a favor, guys.
Yes, sir?
Anything you say, sir.
No more blonde wigs, Pathfinder. Ambush?
Yes, sir. You look terrible in a dress.
So that was United We Stand.
How was it? Well, in a word...
Stupid!
Yes, stupid is definitely the word of the day.
The entire plot could only happen because our main 2 characters acted like complete idiots all of the time. And it's out of character for Ambush, who gets a much better deal in the other episode that featured him, I Found You, Evie. You know you have a bad story when it relies on otherwise competent people acting like morons. Also, I was at least expecting them to have a character arc. You know, overcoming their differences and learning how to work together. Instead, they're still acting like selfish idiots right up until the end.
The storytelling in this episode fails on so many levels.
Outside of all that, well, I mentioned the awful sound mixing in places, but there's one more thing that bugs me. Lady J was in this episode. What, you didn't know? Well, it's easy to miss this, because she's in the background and never says a word. This is down to cost cutting again, I imagine, because that way you don't need to hire a voice actress. Why the hell have her in the episode at all if she's not gonna say or do anything? You can't get more token character than that.
So, in conclusion, this was a bad episode and we're all dumber for having watched it. Well, see you next time, everybody.
Hoy en